former Democratic leader of the Ohio Senate, Capri Cafaro, also with us from Washington, D.C. Hi, Capri. We were speaking on Election Day as well. And look at the journey that Washington, D.C. has made and so much that it has witnessed ever since. A tumultuous 4 years and a transition that has not been a smooth one either. A lot of expectations. What's running through your mind at this point?
Well, I mean, I think that, many Americans, whether you support Donald Trump or not, are really reflecting on the last 4 years as an unprecedented time in American history. Donald Trump, again, whether you like him or not, really broke the mold as far as being a politician, how he elected to govern the United States, how he conducted himself, in the public eye, how he interfaced with other elected officials, both domestically and internationally, his use of social media and Twitter, and all culminating in, what we've seen, between through the 2020 election all the way up to the January 6th insurrection. And today, when Donald Trump departed for the final time as president of the United States on Air Force One, he curated his own music playlist. And like a movie, the Air Force One flew away to Frank Sinatra's My Way. And it just, it just talks about how he really is, sort of the marketer in chief in so many ways.
Right. Capri, the kind of sentiment that we are witnessing in America is also unprecedented, given the COVID-19 crisis and the 400,000 Americans who have lost their lives. What are your expectations at this point from the Joe Biden administration, specifically when it comes to the pandemic?
Sure. The incoming Biden administration has their hands full, and job number one, and President-elect, soon-to-be President Biden acknowledges this, that, there needs to be an increase in the ability to access the vaccines, get more vaccines produced and get them into the arms of the American people. So he's already talking about, trying to utilize the power of the military, the power of the Defense Production Act, and issuing an executive order to mandate mask wearing, both in federal property as well as in interstate travel on planes and buses and things of that nature. So, it really is a tragic and trying time for Americans, with the pandemic as a backdrop, dealing with, civil and racial unrest that, permeated the summer, and then going through the entire, acrimony of the fallout of the election and the process of President Trump basically trying to erode the trust in our election process, and then again the views of Americans on Capitol Hill engaging in basically an insurrection. We've been through a lot, and I think that it's President-elect Biden's first priority to try to bring us together, unite us as a nation, and heal us. And part of that healing is trying to ensure that the COVID pandemic is going to be tamped down. The vaccine is part of that. Prevention is part of that. But, also, grieving as a nation is part of that, too.
Indeed, and the need for togetherness, as Joe Biden has said, is more now than ever before, and it is a time for healing, as he has repeatedly pointed out. Stay with me, Capri. Just a quick roundup for our viewers who might just be joining us. We are standing by for the inauguration ceremony, which is now just a couple of hours away. Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to be sworn in. Expectations, emotions running high as the next administration is sworn in. Given the challenges that the last 4 years have presented, a lot lies ahead, specifically like we were just discussing with Capri, to do with the COVID-19 crisis. 400,000 Americans have lost their lives, and in that emotional message that Joe Biden delivered last evening as well, talking about the need for America to come together, that is going to be one of the major challenges. A lot has been spoken about the foreign policy vision as well, and just a short while back, We've also got to you the version that's come in of what the foreign policy outline will look like. Antony Blinken has also highlighted that while outlining the Biden administration's foreign policy, has also given out the broad strokes, saying that the U.S. will keep its embassy in Jerusalem, will also join the global vaccine efforts. Joining the Paris Climate Accord is something that Joe Biden has already talked about and presented his inclination towards. And that, all of that will be a part of his very first day in office as the expectations go. VOA correspondent Sydney has been with us, getting us a better sense of what the Joe Biden administration will look like and the challenges that lie ahead. We also have a good sense of the orders, the 17 orders that Joe Biden will carry through, Sydney, on his very first day in office. What more do we know at this point?
Yes, you're right. Some of those orders, one of them will be lifting the ban on predominantly Muslim countries that caused so much heartbreak and outrage throughout much of the world. That will be lifted. There on the COVID front, there will be an order for people to wear masks in federal buildings. So we're seeing a lot of things. President-elect Biden has said he will send major immigration reform legislation over to Congress on his very first day. So some signals there. And I also wanted to comment, if I could, on the incoming Secretary of State, if he is confirmed, Antony Blinken. We had a confirmation hearing on Tuesday, which was almost like a return to normal. It was very substantive. It was, for the most part, non-combative, with issues being talked about. And Antony Blinken, who's a former Deputy Secretary of State, saying he sees American leadership in the world as a flip coin, with humility on the one side and confidence on the other. He said, we have a lot to do at home to repair our own standing for democracy. But he said that America still is a country that can help to bring other countries together for the common good. So that was what he laid out on Capitol Hill.
Right. Stay with me, Sydney and Capri Cafaro, who've been getting us the latest and sharing their perspectives on what the Joe Biden administration will be focusing on. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.